Welcome back to the Mad Spideyverse. I'm Mad Spidey. Thank you once again for tuning into my channel. So if you've followed my channel, yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I've done any pre-recorded videos. Obviously life gets in the way and you just have to deal with it, unfortunately, and sometimes YouTube can take a back seat to that, unfortunately. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, and this has happened to me quite a few times over the years, where you just either you lose motivation, you're not in the right mindset, as I said, life stuff's happening, and you just can't find the motivation to do it. But I'm going to try and get back into the swing of things again. So here I am doing another one of my artist series. Now, if you've never seen any of these before, obviously the end screen will have the playlist link that you can check out all the other episodes. Basically, I do own a relatively decent amount of original art. Compared to some people, it's probably not much. Compared to other people, it's probably a lot. But for me personally, it is a lot, and I do love my original art. Obviously, on hiatus, retired, whatever you want to call it. I can't do collecting books and art and everything else at the same time on a limited budget. But, I have amassed quite a collection, and I do love what I have. So my artist series is basically, I pick an artist, and however many pieces I have, whether it be one or whether it be 30, I will showcase them in a artist series spotlight video. Now, the artist in question today, now please, if you ever see this and I butcher your name, because obviously a lot of the artists obviously have, they're foreign artists and things like that, not necessarily English speaking artists, or they're not from, like either America or Australia or Canada or UK or something like that. So they'll have, obviously, a little bit harder to say names, especially for an Aussie like me. But the artist in question is Yvel Guichet, I think is how you pronounce it. Obviously, his name will be in the title. So if you know who he is, you know who he is. Now, it's either Vel with a silent Y, or it's just Yvel. I'm not quite sure, but I'll say Yvel, and hopefully it's right. But yeah, super nice guy. I saw, now this was going back to the start, right at the start of 2017. I was sort of, which is quite often, like around sort of December, January is quite often where a lot of artists are on sort of like a break from, the normal sort of workloads, whether it be cover work or interiors or create our own stuff, and they quite often will open commission lists. So it's always a good time to sort of keep an eye out around that sort of time on their socials. I happened to stumble across Yvel, and I knew of him previously because I'd seen his work in some Marvel stuff, in some DC, a lot of independent stuff as well, like Valiant and a lot more. But I noticed, I was friends with him on Facebook. I noticed he'd open a commission list like the first week or second week of January. And I'm like, why not? He's got an awesome art style. He's done a lot of work. So obviously, fantastic published artist. So I basically messaged him and said, mate, it's the start of the year. It's 2017. I feel like this could be a perfect time to try and get a piece from you. And he was more than accommodating. We pretty much, had some to and fro with sort of like what I wanted and like character choice and things like that. Like I basically said to him, I want the 11x17 color with just some background. Like it didn't have to be super detailed background. I think it was sort of classified as minimum background at the time. And he was more than accommodating. We ended up sort of going back and forward with a couple of characters. I said, look, it has to be something, because at that stage, obviously, I was only getting Spider-Man characters. And he goes, I haven't drawn Spider-Man in absolute, years and years, he reckons. And he's like, I do like Rhino and a few other sort of characters we went, backwards and forwards with. We ended up settling on just good old standard blue and red Peter Parker, classic Spider-Man. And pretty much from, start of January, I received it in, I think it was mid to late April of 2017. So only 4 months. 4 months, and if you've ever watched any of these videos before, 4 months for an at-home commission from a published artist is nothing. I hear a lot of these sort of newcomers come into the game and they're like, oh, I've been waiting 2 weeks or I've been waiting a month. And I'm like, chill out, dude. You got to know how to play the game. You got to be patient. You got to be polite and accommodating. Obviously, you know, if they're giving you the runaround and things like that, maybe a little bit of sternness, but you've got to, yeah, you got to set some guidelines and things like that. But in other words, you got to be flexible at the same time because they do have deadlines which take priority. But yeah, 4 months, as I said, in the grand scheme of things for me personally, that is absolutely nothing. If all my commissions were 4 month wait, I would have got a lot more. But yeah, super happy when it arrived. And as I said, he was absolute gorgeous human being. So, you know, so friendly, so helpful, especially for, you know, a professional artist that are quite often in demand. And here is the piece. So I do have the fan on in the background because it's a bit warm, so hopefully it's not blowing it too much around. But there it is in all its glory. I do love the perspective of sort of almost like a conical sort of shape of webbing as he's sort of like, you know, actually trying to like almost tunnel through it. And as I said, it's classified as sort of a minimal background. So I love the perspective. I love what he did with it, you know, with minimal effort, really. All the effort went into Spidey in the middle. Just an absolutely gorgeous piece. There is his signature there. You can see just there. But yeah, absolute gorgeous piece. Was extremely happy when it arrived. So I didn't ask for any sort of, you know, thumbnails or layouts or progress shots or anything like that. I pretty much said, look, this is what we're going with. Paid the money and said, send it on. I'm waiting to see it. So, but yeah, absolutely awesome experience. Super communicative between the two of us. Always answered, you know, messages, you know, within reasonable time. Like even it was a couple of days, I was quite happy with that because I've had emails and messages and texts and all sorts of stuff go unanswered for a month or more. So a couple of days is nothing. People are busy with life stuff, you know, take it with a grain of salt. So as I said, be patient if you're ever going to get in the game, or if you're in the game and you've not been in there long, just be patient and be flexible, as I said before. But yeah, super happy with that piece and glad I'm trying to get some content out again. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you watched it all the way to the end, all through all my waffling and baffling and whatever else you want to call it. I do appreciate each and every one of my subscribers, new, old, you know, people that watch, people have come back, you know, the usual sort of stuff. But please do the usual YouTube thing, hit the thumbs up on the way out, leave a comment if you want to. Most of all, hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. But anyway, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and Spidey out.